Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marble. And I'm Bob. You are. Thank you, Bob, for being here. Good to see you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the burn of courage. When we're considering change, zooming off into a brand new direction, be it an experience, change that no one who knows you would ever believe, some kind of desired inner transformation, whatever it is, we will often ask ourselves, do I have the courage? The burn of courage. Why the burn? Well, I did think of calling it the fire of, the flames of, but I decided on burn because those decisions that we make in a new direction, depending on what we're going through, what we're moving from, can feel like a burn right in our heart area. Oh yeah. A pain that is not a cut exactly, just feels more like a burn. I'm so glad I asked. Oh, shut up, Bob. From a spiritual perspective, courage isn't necessarily the absence of fear, but more like a catalyst that explodes us into a new path, a journey towards reinvention, perhaps maybe being our best selves, our real selves, possibly for the first time. And I feel on a personal level, because you're really old? Yeah, well, maybe that I've had a few rites of passage along the way, and as dramatic as it may sound, I feel like I'm getting to know myself on a level or two. Do you not know yourself? Yes, I do, but I also know that I've changed and I am changing. We all know when we are amidst change, and usually it isn't the best feeling as we get into that actual stage of real change. Even when you want the change? For sure. All bets are off that change will be smooth, especially when it's been a long time a coming. I like to call it an awake journey. I'm aware that change is going on around me and within myself. Again, I'm so glad I asked. Shut up, Bob. That burning, that fearful inside-out feeling that we can get as we knowingly walk towards change on a new road. We don't know the landscape. It all feels foreign, but it has a familiarity to it as well because our burning courage lights the road ahead. It might even feel like a calling to some. That sounds a bit fabulous to me. Have you ever been called? Well, I'm not sure. Probably have. I'm more of feel it's time to shake things up and do something kind of woman. My Saturday was going pretty well until I realised it was Sunday. There are many spiritual teachers that we can draw from, their wisdom, their humour, humbleness, their boldness, their oldness, because Godfathers, you're really old. Thanks, Bob. I do enjoy others' perspectives on courage. I do enjoy perspectives that soar above our limitations that many of us think is real. But they're limitations. I believe that caring, loving ourselves enough gives us the courage to surrender to the flow of life. And remember this, the world around you is beautiful when the world within you is peaceful. Oh, I like that. It's the burn of courage that gets us through uncertainty and pushes us along further towards more personal growth. Will we have to grow for all time? Well, while on the planet, we kind of grow whether we like it or not. But liking it is very helpful. It's more joyous than not. I have a leaning towards the not. Courage in adversity is the virtue of facing and overcoming difficulties, even when they're painful or scary. Courage in adversity also involves developing a mindset of hardiness, which is the ability to be optimistic, committed, feel like you've got some control going on in your life. Yeah, well, I'll have a bag of that. That's us all earning our damn stripes, Bob, while we're retaining our integrity and kindness. Because some people can really grow into quite mean people. Maybe they were always mean. They may have had a touch of it all their life, and it was something you expect of certain personalities. The painful ones are the ones that think they are not only more clever than everyone else, that they're also out on the planet to correct you. God bloody help you if you pronounce a word wrong. But never fear, they are there to put you straight. Those sorts are boring, and yet they think they're so clever. What's that, Bob? Just yawning at the bores who bore me. Good on you. There are some who have a mean streak right through them, and it would kill them to be kind. That you have to apply a bit of courage for yourself and distance yourself from those who just can't help themselves, nor want to. Perhaps they've chosen to spend too much time sharpening their tongues and have forgotten the ways of the people. Maybe don't tell people how to live their lives. Expect to only be interested in what they say as they take every opportunity to belittle you and make sure that you know how very lucky you are to have them speaking, nay, pontificating in your general direction. Godfathers, I hope you got your pronunciation correct. Who cares, Bob? You don't, do you? No, not really. The unhealed version of me used to tolerate a lot of disrespect. For one, I didn't recognise the disrespect. And for two, I didn't want to lose people. As I began to work on myself, I realised that many of these people didn't deserve a place in my life, no matter who they were or how much I actually cared for them. If it's appropriate when looking back doesn't interest you anymore, you're doing something right. Yeah, that's right. I remember I made a deal with myself to distance myself from all those who couldn't value me. It wasn't easy. It was hard at first, but I continue to this day to be true to myself. And any attempts of disrespect, they're just not tolerated. It's not a blue, it's not an argument, it's not a fight. It's that they just never hear from me again. Simples. When we experience disappointment, loss or trauma, finding meaning in our pain helps us accept and integrate what we've gone through. Resilient individuals trust there's a gift, lesson or opportunity in every challenging situation. It can even feel like an honour to do so if you can slide into that way of thinking. There's no doubt that we will have both good and bad days, right? And even in those not so great days, understand that this moment will pass and not to buy into the menacing bullshit of overreacting, especially if we still got some miles to go and whatever we are going through, all the while keeping in mind that you are only human. You're going to have bad days. I've been getting into the habit of imparting meaning onto unwanted experiences, asking myself, what lesson is in this? Or how can I help someone else? Hey! What do you call a typo on a headstone? A grave mistake. Oh, Christ. If you're having trouble identifying a gift, trust one will emerge in the future, or tell yourself that this unwanted experience is actually protecting you in some way. This I have found to be true many times in my life. I have out loud, by myself to myself, have asked, so what's the lesson in this? What am I possibly to learn from this? And in that time, I had no answers, just the raw knowledge of what I've been told. No way to see my way out. And I have also found that down the line, a little epiphany arrives at the most peculiar time, and I understand that moment comes back, and I find I recognise, I appreciate it on a deeper level. I jump into my time machine and go back 5 years, or 40, who knows, and suddenly I'm there again, wondering what I'm to learn from this. And with softer eyes, I'm able to see what I couldn't possibly have understood through such young and inexperienced eyes. We all process things differently, don't we? And some not much at all. And if they do, it may not show in their communication skills. And by the way, allow me to correct you in your pronunciation. How very unhelpful. Bloody boring, Bob. If you're serious about changing your life, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. Oh, that's a goodie. Yeah, and you have to know that you're ready too. It can be difficult to reach out and ask for help. It can be so hard though, can't it? Or even have the space given to you so to be able to chat freely and in order to be able to receive support. Not everyone can offer that, and you soon work out who will support you. And connection is so important when you're having a bit of a tough time. Hashtag the burn of courage. Although you may get a lesson in pronouncing words correctly. Very important, not. Where you are able, share your struggle with the people you trust. If there's no one in your life with whom you feel safe being unmasked, consider connecting with a therapist. Also, remind yourself of the universal connectedness of all beings, that you're not alone. There are millions of others experiencing something similar at this time, and we are all in this together. I can only genuinely hope that this is helpful in some way. I was thinking. Yes, Bob. You've got to have a decent relationship with yourself too, though. You do. And so many of us are unaware that we compound our suffering, stall healing by beating ourselves up. It used to be me. I think a lot of us have done that, Bob. But when you realise you know that that is not a place to stay for too long, significant research shows that self-compassion fosters resilience. Oh yeah, I do like a bit of resilience. So do I. I think and know that self-compassion is lost on so many of us. Think about it. When we're supportive and encouraging to ourselves in response to disappointment, shock, failure, we bounce back more easily. Who knew? Alternatively, when we criticise and undermine ourselves, we struggle with forgiving ourselves and moving on when things don't go according to plan. And boy, that happens. Sure does. Screwing up and feeling crappy is a part of the process. Just like the social media platforms have algorithms that shows you more of what you're interested in, the entire universe also has an algorithm where it shows you more of what you are thinking, feeling, and focusing on. Oh, wow, that's a beauty. Sure is. Surrendering to the anxiety-provoking reality that we have influence over very little in life can actually be incredibly relieving if we have some sense of spirituality, faith, or trust in the process. Hashtag the burn of courage. What do you call a person missing 75% of their spine? A quarterback. The bloody experts see humour as essential to your toolbox, your resilience, and in turn, aid you in making courageous moves for your betterment. Now there's a word, betterment. Oh yes, I do like it myself. Keeping your sense of humour going is a game changer. Getting too serious is honestly allowing another problem to grow. If you can't find any humour, you're losing mightily. And I have purposely put on comedies. I've advised anyone that I know personally that I can say, without undermining or, making their problems seem less or invalidating them in any way. Watch funny stuff. Watch a funny movie. It really does help to laugh. It just lightens your load, albeit, temporarily. It can help give you a little bit of resilience along the way. There are things that require your attention and diligence, of course, and all those very serious words, but your heart and mind needs lightness. Let's not forget how important that is. I don't have a train of thought. I have 7 trains on 4 tracks that narrowly avoid each other when the paths cross and all the conductors are screaming. Wow, what an analogy. When I hear laughter, I smile. I'm glad of it. I'm glad that they are happy or finding a way through it all. Like you, we have no idea what they're going through. And if I am in and around, say, a hospital and I hear laughter, I'm always glad of it because we always all need more of that. Lucky you got me then. I'm so lucky that I've got you, Bob. Yes, that's right. And thank you. You're right. It's all right. I recall hearing this somewhere along my travels in regard to resetting one's headspace. Make a point to spend part of your commute or your shower acceptingly, just noticing your thoughts. What I'm trying to say. Yeah, what are you trying to say? I'm just saying, notice your thoughts with the idea of accepting them, your feelings and your bodily sensations. Just let them come and go as though you're watching them on a movie screen. And when your mind wanders to the future or the past, gently bring it back to your present awareness. That works, as does mindfully taking in slower, deeper breaths. It's simple and it works. I do that in the shower. Good on you, Bob. I was stressing the other day while mindlessly scrolling through Instagram when I stumbled across a sobering 2002 Bali bombing tribute. I tell you what, that gave me quite the reality check. Finding perspective and gratitude can help us get back on track after being derailed. Now, we don't want to be dismissive of our struggles, but we do want to see them in a less immediate context. Our existence is fragile and precarious. And all of this, the burn of courage, choosing clearly a different mindset instead of the one that keeps you pinned down to the past and old thinking, it's just more of the same and I cannot deal. Won't deal. Courage is not solely the domain of the brave. It is a quality that resides within all of us. How many times have you been called brave? I bet a few times. And you may have thought, geez, I didn't feel like I was. And that is the thing about courage. It is something in us, waiting to be called upon in moments of need. My buddy just got a job in marketing with Kellogg's. I guess you could say his job is raising brand awareness. It is often in the most unassuming and ordinary people that true courage is found, rising to the surface where circumstances demand it. Courage is not about being fearless, but about confronting fear head-on and choosing to act despite of it, isn't it? Consider the everyday acts of courage, the student who stands up to a bully, the employee who speaks out against injustice in the workplace, or the parent who fights tirelessly for their child's well-being. These actions do not require the extraordinary, You can't say it. Yes, I can, Bob. Go away. The extraordinary bravery of heroes in legends, but rather a deep-seated resolve and a commitment to doing what is right. Courage is also present in the quiet, often unnoticed decisions we make daily. It is the strength to pursue our dreams in the face of uncertainty, making the choice of healthy food that you make instead of the Uber delivery. And that's not taking anything away from Uber delivery at all. My whole life consists of people asking me if I've seen this movie and me telling them no, I haven't seen that movie, and then them telling me that I should see that movie, and then me telling them I'll add it to my list, but there's no list and I won't watch that movie. Thanks for that, Bob. Yeah, you're right. The resilience to continue after setbacks and the willingness to be vulnerable and authentic in a world that often values conformity. In essence, courage is not reserved for the brave, but it is a universal trait that anyone can cultivate. It is about finding the inner strength to persevere, to challenge the status quo, and to stand up for one's beliefs, regardless of the external pressures or fears that may arise. Thus, the burn of courage manifests in many forms, transcending the notion of bravery and becoming a testament to the human spirit. What's the difference between an angry circus owner and a Roman barber? Here we go. One is a raving showman and the other is a shaving Roman. Roman? Yeah, I kill myself. I'm a funny guy. Hey, before I die, I'm going to eat a whole bag of unpopped popcorn. Why would you do that? Yeah, it should make that should make the cremation a bit more interesting. Yeah, you're right, Bob. It is the everyday stuff. Last week, after an X-ray, there was an elderly lady in the hallway as I was leaving, trying to get her warm jacket on. It was freezing outside, and she had a walker in front of her, and she was trying to balance as she was trying to get her arm into the arms of her jacket. I politely asked if I could help her as I guided her arm into her coat, and it can feel like courage in that moment because I didn't want to offend her, but she was sort of getting nowhere with her coat. Anywho, it's just as easy to miss those opportunities to help, and at the same time being the person that simply has made someone's day a little bit lighter. You could be the person that gives someone faith back in humanity. It has come to my attention that there are so many wonderful people. I've always thought so, and I still do. Hashtag hashtag burn of courage. Courage shows up in a myriad of ways, and that's why we often don't term it as such. I've heard people say that they're not brave, that wasn't a brave thing to do, and yet it was. Staying grounded and available to the joy in life requires a kind of courage, and it is often underestimated. In our world, where distractions are a constant and challenges can feel overwhelming, maintaining a sense of presence and openness to joy takes deliberate effort and bravery. Does anyone else wish the manufacturers would write shampoo and conditioner in a bigger font so we can bloody read it in the shower without our specs? Oh, lordy, yes, Bob, I'm with you. Hashtag burn of courage. As said by author Neville Goddard, feeling is the secret. A change in feeling is a change of destiny. Have you read any of his books? Which, can I just say, are the bomb. Considering he was writing about this decades ago, way ahead of the game was Neville. Briefly advises, feel yourself as the person that you want to be. If you want to be wealthy, imagine waking up in a beautiful home, feeling secure and abundant. Feel yourself enjoying financial freedom, making smart investments, surrounded by beautiful art and furnishings. Imagine sitting on your gorgeous lounge suite. What I love about Neville Goddard's books are they are easy to read and fabulously practical. Now, he's not just saying, just sit in your house all day, imagining, how you want things to be. Of course, you're taking action. You're saving your money, you're working your business, you're developing your life as well. But if you want to be healthy, visualize yourself full of energy, enjoying vibrant health and participating in activities you love. Feel the vibrancy and vitality in your body. All his audiobooks are free on YouTube, and I have listened to them all many times. Very uplifting and easy to apply to your life. Look, we don't have to be smarter than the rest. We just have to be more disciplined than the rest. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, me too, Bob. I believe the desire we have in life for what we want is akin to a phone call from our future selves, reminding us that this reality is available to us to select. The key is, though, remember, the key is to feel that you already are what you want to be. And for the naysayers, it's only madness until it becomes magic, until it happens. Bob, Bob, yeah, that's me. Yeah, feel the burn of courage. Anywho, I have opened a gym where the instructors would go from door to door to tell people about the benefits of joining it. I've named it Jehovah's Fitness. Thanks, Bob. Moreover, this life takes courage. Choosing to open ourselves to these experiences despite the risks is a courageous act. Yeah, we are a courageous bunch. I would say so, Bob. And I'd like to say, please don't always be the person with the big heart who always gives more than they get. You deserve good things too. You deserve care, good treatment, consideration, respect, and support. Learn to know when to sit back and be treated well too. You deserve it. This can be the hardest thing to learn for so many of us. Our acts of service can be taken way too far, I should say. And if we be honest, we know we do. It comes back to self-worth. Truly, you got to get serious about changing your life. You'll find a way. If not, you'll keep finding excuses. That's right. Taking no risks will be your biggest risk, just like risking heartbreak to love. Courage is the quiet strength that propels us forward in the face of fear and uncertainty. It's not the absence of fear, but the determination to act in spite of it. Courage manifests in many forms, whether it's standing up for what is right or facing personal challenges head on, loving again. By embracing courage, we empower ourselves and others. Remember, every act of courage, no matter how small, contributes to a larger tapestry of human strength and perseverance. Let us all strive to live courageously, for in courage, we find the true essence of our potential. Courage just shows up in places that we may not even term as courage. Having to let a relationship go that you never thought you would or could. Everyone has their limits, and it's important to recognise when a relationship is causing more harm than good. Sometimes the healthiest choice is just to step away and protect your peace and your mental health. This understanding has helped me set better boundaries and prioritise respectful and supportive relationships. And to navigate that takes enormous courage. Now that comes with a burn. Roses are red, violets are blue, sunflowers are yellow. Didn't have a joke. These are just garden facts. Fantastic, Bob. Yeah, I know. Well, it looks like it's the end of another exciting episode. No. Yes, Bob, afraid so. Did you know when you put your hand on your chest, it lights up the same part of the brain as when you get a hug? Leave it on there for a couple of minutes and you'll start feeling more relaxed and peaceful. It really does feel quite good. It does, Bob. So say good day to the family for me. Oh, we really are going? We are. We really are. Say good day to the family for me. Give the African bush elephant a hug and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye. Bye.